Welcome to AGORACOM, the Small Cap Epicenter, and AGORACOM TV, a daily, fast-paced, edgy show that brings you the best press releases out of the small cap world every morning at the open, so you can hopefully profit from them and maybe even find your next great small cap investment. Now, it's Monday, November the 12th. I've got 5 great press releases for you from both sides of the border, but before we get into that, the big news of the day is an AGORACOM exclusive interview that we conducted with Jean-Francois Tardif, better known as JF of Sprott Asset Management. He's calling for $200 oil, higher gold prices, and more and deeper U.S. subprime pain in 2008. Now, before you go off and accuse JF maybe of trying to be a headline grabber, you remember the same thing occurred back when the first set of analysts were calling for $100 oil, only if we had all listened to it back then, we'd all be a lot richer. Well, JF is a renowned and very successful senior fund manager at Sprott. How renowned, how successful? Barron's just named his fund number 18 in their hedge fund 50 around the world. So you're talking about his hedge fund is ranked number 18 around the world. Also, he was just awarded Best Canada-based manager at the Hedge Fund Management U.S. Performance Awards. So when JF speaks, you definitely want to listen. Why is he calling for this? He's seeing even more squeeze, supply and demand squeeze going on for both oil and gold. He's more bullish on oil, obviously, from his calls for $200. In the interview, he said perhaps even $300 more as a side point, but $200 he sees as a definite and real, tangible possibility. He also sees great pain going on. A lot of this is also based on great pain that's going to be taking place in the U.S. with respect to their subprime mortgage problems, with more than $800 billion in subprime mortgages coming up for renewal in 2008, significantly bigger than in 2007, with a lot of that pain taking place, he says, in May, June. So look for potentially weaker U.S. dollar, higher gold prices, and unrelated, but nonetheless higher oil prices sometime in 2008. You can see that interview, you can you can read about it on our blog, and then listen to it by going to the front page of AGORACOM. That's agoracom.com. Bottom right-hand corner, you will see our blog that takes you right to that interview. Now, let's get on some press releases for the day. WellPoint Systems trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the stock symbol WPS. They announced their record third quarter revenues. This company is actually a supplier of software solutions to the energy sector, so it shouldn't be much of a surprise that, in fact, the company is announcing record revenues. Let's go to the numbers. Revenues increased 56% to $6.7 million for Q3. For the first 9 months, revenues increased 98% to $21.1 million. Net income in Q3, just under $200,000. Net income for the first 9 months was $1 million, and a lot of this is thanks to some acquisitions they've made as of late. Now, the company did record a foreign exchange gain of $1.1 million on some outstanding debt that they had acquired from one of their acquisitions. That was in U.S. dollars. With the Canadian dollar climbing, that debt obligation is obviously falling, so they took a $1.1 million foreign exchange gain on that. So let's go to adjusted EBITDA, which factors out, amongst other things, that what they factored out here is any foreign exchange gains. Adjusted EBITDA, $500,000 for Q3 and $3.3 million for the first 9 months. So still some really good numbers. The company right now is trading at 35.5 cents. That's at the lower end of its 52-week trading range. Over to the OTC, QPC Lasers, which is making another repeat performance here. Trades on the stock symbol QPCI on the OTC. Revenues in Q3 increased 132%. Total revenues of $2.2 million. Now, they did lose $5.1 million, but that's compared to about $8.3 million last year, so it's a significant improvement. But what we really like about this company, and why we've pointed them out in the past, what they do, first of all, they're develop and commercialize high brightness, high power semiconductor lasers for industrial, defense, and medical markets, and they've actually delivered. They recently signed a $750,000 contract with a U.S. defense customer for specialized airborne weapons applications. You definitely don't want to owe money to QPC Lasers if they've got that kind of technology around. They've also recently shipped a 100-watt laser to U.S. customers for surgical applications, and they got an incredibly strong cash situation with $8.6 million in cash and cash equivalents. What I also liked here was a quote from co-founder and chief financial officer of QPC, George Lintz, who states, Looking at the remainder of 2007, we're revising our revenue expectations upwards, and we're confident that total revenues will be in the range of $7 to $8 million for 2007 full year versus $3.1 million last year. So we're willing to accept these losses as long as you see revenues climbing pretty quickly, and if they hit their $7 to $8 million target, they're going to more than double the $3.1 million they did last year. The company's trading at 67 cents, a little below its $1.69 52-week trading range, but delivery of these actual results may be what their investors were now looking for. Next up, Sonomax also making a repeat performance. They trade in the TSX Venture on the stock symbol SHH. They announced a deal with their 17th licensee, and they're going to equip military personnel in Iraq and Afghanistan. So that's what we like about this contract. The exclusive agreement is with the Shinar Group to equip military personnel in Iraq with Sonomax technology. Shinar actually has supply and construction contracts with the Pentagon, so they obviously have the means and distribution to get it into those theaters. Specifically, what they're talking about, the problem they're trying to solve here is hearing loss among soldiers in theater where improvised explosive devices have become a constant danger to convoys, and those are IEDs that you see when a lot of times see in the news and videos where these IEDs are exploding roadside right by the trucks. Hearing problems are a big deal, and Sonomax has also already announced some pretty big deals with the likes of Rio Tinto and Alcan, so this is just another high-level contract that we like. The company right now is trading at 38 cents. We got a quote here from James Philibek from Shinar. We always like the third-party quotes better than the self-serving one. So the James Philibek had to say, this is a piece of gear that many soldiers want and desperately need. We looked at other option solutions, but frankly, none of them match the efficiency and performance of Sonomax, and it looks like they've already fit some Special Forces members, and the reaction has been very, very positive. 38 cents on the TSX Venture. Next up, Liberty Mines trades on the TSX Venture out of the stock symbol LBE. They are an AGORACOM client, but they've announced that they're beginning construction on their McWaters nickel mine. So that's obviously very, very big news. Construction of the mine portal will begin shortly, and they're expecting to ramp up to about 300 to 500 tons per day of pre-production ore beginning in March, April 2008. Full production for the mine is going to be about 12 to 1,300 tons per day, scheduled for early Q3 2008. The ore will be concentrated at Liberty's Redstone Mill, located 9.5 kilometers west of the Redstone site. We got a quote here from Gary Nash, Liberty's president and CEO, who states, "Bring the McWaters mine into production is a very important development for Liberty as it provides the ore required for our Redstone Mill to run at its permitted capacity of 1,500 tons per day." In addition, they're also providing a small update to the Hart Nickel project. They actually had to build a new road to the McWaters mine, passing right through the Hart Nickel project. The Hart Nickel project, they're going to go under a 43101 resource and reserve technical report to be compiled early 2008, and they're anticipating that in fact Hart Nickel is going to be formally declared as their third nickel mine upon receipt of the technical report. So some big news out of Liberty Mines. They're trading at $2.19 right now, which is below the 52-week high of $4.80. And finally, Tyler Resources trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the stock symbol TYS. The news itself isn't groundbreaking, but the reason we're putting it on here, it's an indication of what you may see happening to these junior metals and mining companies in this environment. Now that gold, copper, silver, and everything is trading is way up, their board of directors is unanimously recommending that shareholders reject an unsolicited offer by Mercator Minerals Limited. So it looks like a hostile takeover bid by Mercator Minerals Limited that was made just a few days ago on the 9th. When you take it, it's 4 shares. And it's got a cash equivalent of just $1.09 per Tyler common share. They're trading at $1.13, so no premium. But what we liked about it here is Jean-Pierre Dujutrat, the director and president CEO of Tyler, said, "We've delivered a $525 million mineral deposit to shareholders. Management's strong belief is that there remains significant upside both at the deposit and regional scale to materially expand on the current resources." What they also go on to point out, in fact, is that Tyler's value is recognized even by Mercator's own financial advisor, Jennings Capital, who issued a research report on October 10th, just about a month ago, establishing a 12-month target price on Tyler of $2.50 per share. So obviously the company's saying, we're trading at $1.13, we've got an offer on the table for $1.13. $1.09 per share, and you've got Jennings Capital giving us a 12-month target of $2.50. Not a surprise that they're recommending rejection of the hostile takeover bid, but just indication of what you may see going on and how this sector is really starting to heat up. That's a wrap for the day. As always, feel free to drop by the blog and post some comments and extra due diligence, or take a look at the AGORACOM marketplace. We got more than 75 companies arranged by industry and exchange, so you can find companies that are best suited for your investment portfolio. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Talk to you then.